We've been watching President Trump in the Oval Office with the German Chancellor, and a lot to get to here. But the most interesting and perhaps important issue, political issue and policy issue, is what President Trump said about his now former friend, at least it seems, Elon Musk.
From shocking breakups to courtroom dramas, celebrity scandals grab headlines worldwide.
Simpsons predicted that if something happens to Donald Trump, Elon Musk will take over as the next U.S. president, and everything will change overnight.
But what if a cartoon saw it all coming? Today, we dive into the craziest celebrity scandals that The Simpsons eerily predicted, starting with Mel Gibson's infamous meltdown and how Springfield nailed it years before anyone else saw coming. Back in 1999, The Simpsons portrayed Mel Gibson as a raging, out-of-control star with a disturbing obsession for violence. It seemed exaggerated then, but incredibly, reality took notes.
Or are you being impartial?
You tell me I'm trying to be impartial, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'm back. And I hope it works out. And I hope people will graciously accept me back.
Just a few years later, Gibson's real-life scandals exploded across headlines. A shocking DUI arrest, accompanied by wild anti-Semitic rants, disturbing accusations of domestic violence, and explosive outbursts that rocked Hollywood to its core.
Who the f*** wants to eat? Go have something to eat! Hooray!
Fans couldn't believe their eyes. It was like Springfield's writers had glimpsed Gibson's future meltdown. Did The Simpsons somehow foresee Mel Gibson's spectacular downfall, or was reality simply imitating Springfield in one of Hollywood's most bizarre scandals ever? When tigers attack, Simpsons saw it coming. In a stunning 1993 episode, The Simpsons introduced two flashy Vegas performers named Gunter and Ernst, whose spectacular act collapsed into chaos when their white tiger violently attacked them on stage. Shockingly, exactly 10 years later, reality mirrored fiction with chilling accuracy. Roy Horn, part of the world-famous duo Siegfried and Roy, was seriously injured by his own tiger during a live Las Vegas performance, leaving fans horrified. Millions watched in disbelief. The same flashy entertainers, the same glamorous Vegas spectacle, even the same terrifying twist involving a white tiger suddenly turning aggressive. The Simpsons had seemingly anticipated one of entertainment's most tragic and unforgettable celebrity incidents, transforming comedic satire into unsettling reality. Britney's Breakdown, Simpsons saw the dark side. Way back in 2000, The Simpsons eerily foreshadowed Britney Spears' devastating future. The show portrayed her as exhausted, overwhelmed, and pushed to the brink by relentless fame. Sure, it was exaggerated. Britney accidentally killed someone just by blowing a kiss, but behind the humor was a disturbing warning. Tragically, this fictional meltdown became shockingly real in 2007 when Britney spiraled publicly, enduring relentless paparazzi harassment and becoming trapped in a controversial conservatorship. Fans were stunned by how closely reality followed Springfield's dark satire, perfectly highlighting the harsh truth about celebrity exploitation. Did The Simpsons predict Britney's heartbreaking collapse, or was her tragedy sadly inevitable? OJs Trial gone Springfield. Back in 1994, The Simpsons aired an episode titled The Boy Who Knew Too Much, showcasing a famous celebrity on trial, defended passionately by the public despite clear signs of guilt, simply because he was famous. Unbelievably, just 1 year later, reality copied fiction. In 1995, football legend O.J. Simpson stood trial for murder in what became one of America's most infamous court cases ever. Despite overwhelming suspicion and dramatic evidence broadcast live to millions, Simpson was shockingly acquitted, dividing the nation. Fans were left amazed at how precisely Springfield's satire had predicted the real-life trial. Did The Simpsons somehow foresee how fame could influence justice, or was this simply an incredible coincidence, highlighting the disturbing truth that celebrity status can sometimes overshadow the facts? Whatever the case, the parallels between cartoon and reality remain eerie even decades later. J.K. Rowling's fan fallout. In the 2003 episode The Regina Monologues, J.K. Rowling makes a memorable guest appearance. Lisa Simpson eagerly approaches her idol, gushing about how Rowling's Harry Potter books inspired an entire generation to love reading.
Look, it's J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter books. You've turned a generation of kids onto reading.
Rowling initially responds kindly, calling Lisa a young muggle. But when Lisa excitedly begs for spoilers, Rowling's demeanor shifts dramatically. With visible frustration and anger, she snaps sarcastically, "He grows up and he marries you. Is that what you want to hear?" Though exaggerated for comedic effect, Rowling's irritated reaction humorously captures the pressure authors often feel from overly curious fans desperate for secrets. Interestingly, Rowling's annoyed outburst now feels unintentionally symbolic. Years later, her real-life confrontations with fans over controversial statements on gender identity sparked intense backlash, eerily echoing this early Simpsons moment where her friendly public persona briefly cracked under pressure. Mark Zuckerberg, dropout prophet, in a hilarious 2010 scene. The Simpsons showed Mark Zuckerberg casually advising kids to ditch school and chase billionaire dreams, just like many famous tech founders before him. But here's the kicker. Zuckerberg himself soon became the real-life poster boy for dropout culture.
I am honored to be here with you today because, let's face it, you accomplished something I never could.
Openly championing startup hustle and non-traditional paths over formal degrees. Springfield's joke became reality as Silicon Valley embraced this dropout narrative, turning satire into something shockingly prophetic. Did The Simpsons genuinely foresee Zuckerberg's attitude, or did he unknowingly follow a cartoon's wild advice? Either way, this playful moment highlights exactly how spot-on the show's comedic predictions can sometimes be, capturing real trends years before they happen. Simon Cowell's savage judging. In the 2004 episode Smart and Smarter, Simon Cowell hilariously portrayed a ruthless preschool admissions judge, brutally critiquing kids without mercy. This exaggerated persona turned out to be strikingly accurate, mirroring Cowell's real-life image as a famously harsh talent show judge. Known worldwide for his brutally honest feedback on shows like American Idol and X Factor, Cowell built an entire career around his blunt criticism. The Simpsons cleverly captured and even reinforced Cowell's public reputation early, solidifying him in pop culture as the ultimate savage judge who never hesitates to tell contestants exactly how terrible or talented he thinks they are. Barbie versus Trump, Springfield's strangest prediction. In the episode Lisa versus Malibu Stacy, The Simpsons hilariously mocked consumer culture by showing a news anchor spending nearly half an hour obsessing over a new Barbie doll, barely mentioning that the US president had just been arrested. Absurd, right? Well, reality matched Springfield's satire shockingly well in 2023. On April 4th, Donald Trump was arrested, a historic political moment. But at the exact same time, the Barbie movie dominated headlines everywhere, from glowing reviews to record-breaking box office numbers. Trump's arrest felt almost like an afterthought. Just as The Simpsons predicted, pop culture mania overshadowed major news, with the media far more focused on pink plastic dolls and Hollywood glamour than a former president facing charges. This uncanny parallel exposes how media priorities have flipped, shiny distractions outshining real news. Once again, Springfield didn't just predict an event, it revealed the strange way our culture chases spectacle over substance, proving that sometimes reality is just as absurd as cartoons. Queen's death. When Queen Elizabeth II passed away on September 8, 2022, the internet went wild, claiming The Simpsons had shockingly predicted her death, complete with her exact date shown on screen. Sounds exactly like classic Simpsons stuff, right? But here's the twist. That entire prediction, totally fake. No Simpsons episode ever showed the Queen dying, lying in a coffin, or marked a spooky date of death. So how did millions fall for it? Photoshop and good old-fashioned misinformation. After the Queen's passing, edited screenshots and cleverly stitched videos flooded social media, making it look like Springfield had nailed yet another prophecy. The closest The Simpsons ever got to royal drama was in a 2003 episode called The Regina Monologues, where Homer, classic Homer, crashes his car into the Queen's royal carriage and gets locked in the Tower of London. Funny? Absolutely. Predictive? Not so much. Bottom line, sometimes The Simpsons hits the mark, but other times, the internet just can't resist creating its own cartoon conspiracies. Rolling Stones never retire. In the hilarious 2002 episode, How I Spent My Strummer Vacation, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards appeared as exaggerated, aging rock stars running a fantasy camp. The show playfully joked about their refusal to slow down despite getting older. Amazingly, reality matched this comedic prediction perfectly. The Rolling Stones indeed continued performing epic tours deep into their 70s and even their 80s, defying expectations and proving The Simpsons right once again. This clever, self-aware portrayal not only captured the enduring spirit of these legendary musicians, but also humorously predicted their unstoppable, seemingly ageless presence on the rock music scene. Elon Musk's Springfield prediction. In 2015's The Musk Who Fell to Earth, The Simpsons depicted Elon Musk teaming up with Springfield's greedy tycoon, Mr. Burns. Musk's ambitious futuristic projects ended up nearly bankrupting the town's power plant, humorously dramatizing the dangers of unchecked innovation. Strikingly, reality soon echoed this scenario. Musk's real-life ventures, from taking over Twitter, later rebranded as X, to managing Tesla's controversial ups and downs, similarly sparked heated debates about risky decisions, chaotic leadership, and financial instability. While Springfield's satire initially felt exaggerated, Musk's later ventures reflected an eerily similar pattern of disruption and controversy. The cartoon seemed oddly prescient, capturing Musk's ability to simultaneously innovate and destabilize established institutions. Once again, The Simpsons didn't just poke fun. It predicted how Musk's visionary yet turbulent leadership style could dramatically shake up major businesses in the real world. Ricky Gervais roasting celebs. In the 2006 episode, Homer Simpson, This Is Your Wife, Ricky Gervais hilariously mocked celebrity egos and reality TV, writing and starring in a savage parody of Wife Swap. At the time, it felt like classic Simpsons satire, yet Gervais soon turned cartoon comedy into real-world chaos. Hosting the Golden Globes multiple times, he became infamous for brutally roasting Hollywood's elite on live television, shocking viewers and making international headlines. The cartoon perfectly captured Gervais' fearless, no-filter comedy style, anticipating how he'd later challenge celebrity self-importance to their faces. Springfield didn't just parody a trend. It eerily predicted the very public controversies Gervais would spark by openly skewering celebrity culture in front of millions worldwide. Cypress Hill Orchestra. Picture this. It's 1996, and The Simpsons is at its absolute peak. In the iconic episode Homerpalooza, Homer somehow ends up backstage at a grunge-era music festival, where a confused staff member asks, "Did Cypress Hill order the London Symphony Orchestra?" Possibly while high. It was hilarious, because come on, Cypress Hill performing alongside a classical symphony? Totally absurd, right? Well, fast forward nearly 3 decades. On July 10th, 2024, at London's prestigious Royal Albert Hall, guess who took the stage together? Yep, Cypress Hill and the actual London Symphony Orchestra. What started as a silly Simpsons joke became a legendary, real-world event, sparked when Cypress Hill themselves tweeted about the joke back in 2017. Even the orchestra was on board, replying, "We mostly play classical, but we'll give it a shot." It was funny, surreal, and proof once again that when Springfield dreams it, reality eventually catches up. Nobel winner Holmstrom. In the 2010 Simpsons episode Elementary School Musical, Springfield residents humorously place bets on future Nobel Prize winners. Among the potential laureates displayed on screen was MIT economist Bengt Holmstrom. At the time, it seemed like another clever yet random Simpsons joke, just one more playful moment highlighting Springfield's quirky antics. Yet astonishingly, this seemingly trivial gag became reality 6 years later. In 2016, Bengt Holmstrom was genuinely awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics, precisely as the episode had casually suggested. Fans quickly noted the uncanny accuracy, adding yet another event to the show's legendary streak of unexpected predictions. Holmstrom's Nobel Prize win once again showcased the eerie way The Simpsons mixes humor with genuine foresight, humorously blurring the lines between cartoon fiction and real-world events in ways viewers never imagined. Gaga goes full Simpsons. In the episode Lisa Goes Gaga, The Simpsons depicted Lady Gaga performing an over-the-top stadium show, complete with elaborate costumes, aerial stunts, and a jaw-dropping high-wire descent. Fans laughed it off as classic Springfield exaggeration until Lady Gaga's real-life Super Bowl halftime performance matched the cartoon almost exactly. She entered the stadium from above, wearing dazzling outfits and executing a dramatic aerial drop just like the animated version. Fans instantly declared it another uncanny Simpsons prediction. Sure, Gaga is famous for theatrical shows, so maybe the writers were just showcasing her natural flair for spectacle, but the resemblance was so perfect it ignited debates. Did Lady Gaga intentionally mirror her cartoon cameo, or was Springfield just scarily accurate again? Kamala's iconic outfit. Lisa Simpson, shown as the future president, rocks a stylish purple pantsuit with white pearls. Sound familiar? Fans went wild noticing Vice President Kamala Harris sporting an almost identical outfit at her historic 2021 inauguration. Simpsons writer Mike Scully explained they probably chose the pantsuit as a playful nod to Hillary Clinton's iconic power look, while Lisa's pearls have always been part of her style. But here's the kicker. The animators randomly picked the color purple, yet somehow, decades later, Harris stepped onto the stage in exactly that shade, stunning viewers and solidifying The Simpsons as the ultimate predictor of major cultural moments. Coincidence or not, Springfield seems to know the future better than anyone else, and they've done it again. Statue censorship controversy. Back in Season 2's hilarious episode Itchy and Scratchy and Marge Simpson decides Springfield's beloved cartoon duo is just way too violent. At first, her crusade seems pretty harmless, until the townspeople take things too far. When Michelangelo's legendary masterpiece David visits Springfield on a special exhibition tour, the citizens flip out over its nudity and demand the iconic statue be covered. Yep, censorship spiraled completely out of control, even affecting classic art. Fast forward to 2016, and life hilariously imitated Springfield's satire. In St. Petersburg, Russia, folks seriously debated covering up a replica of Michelangelo's David because, you guessed it, it was nude. Luckily, the statue stayed uncovered, avoiding a real-life Springfield-level fiasco. But isn't it wild how precisely The Simpsons predicted a controversy involving one of the most famous artworks ever? This just proves yet again that when it comes to cultural debates, Springfield might actually see the future, no matter how ridiculous it seems. Homer's greasy scheme turns real. In the Season 10 episode, Lard of the Dance, Homer Simpson tries out another one of his questionable get-rich-quick plans, secretly collecting used cooking grease from restaurants around Springfield to sell for extra cash. At first, the idea seemed too silly to ever happen in real life, but surprisingly, years later, something very similar unfolded. Thieves in New York City began stealing restaurant grease and selling it to biodiesel companies, turning Springfield's comedic plot into an unexpected reality. Fans quickly noticed how closely life had mirrored the cartoon scenario, amazed that even Homer's most absurd schemes could find a place in the real world. Once again, The Simpsons proved strangely accurate, highlighting their knack for predicting unusual real-life events. The rise of autocorrect. In Lisa on Ice, The Simpsons hilariously showcase the flaws of Apple's early tech. Dolph types a threatening message, "Beat up Martin," into the Newton, but it mistakenly outputs "Eat up Martha," initially just a joke about poor handwriting recognition. This scene became a legendary cautionary tale at Apple. Determined not to repeat this embarrassment, Apple engineers developed autocorrect for the iPhone, revolutionizing typing accuracy. Today, autocorrect is standard on smartphones, often humorously misfiring, but its origin traces directly back to Springfield's funny glitch. Who knew a cartoon bully's typo could shape modern technology forever? Voting machine fail. It's 2008. America's buzzing with election fever. In The Simpsons' annual Treehouse of Horror episode, Homer strolls confidently into a polling booth to vote for Barack Obama. But when he taps the screen screen, his vote switches mysteriously to John McCain. Homer panics, tapping furiously, each time adding yet another vote for McCain. It ends hilariously and horrifyingly as the machine devours Homer. Funny, right? Well, fast forward 4 years, and life imitated art in the strangest way. In 2012, during Obama's re-election bid against Mitt Romney, voters in Pennsylvania captured footage of real electronic voting machines flipping Obama votes to Romney. The glitch sparked outrage online, forcing the machines out of service. Was this just an eerie coincidence, or did Springfield somehow glimpse the future? Given the show's bizarre history of predicting political twists, including Trump's presidency, maybe it's time to reconsider just how accurate The Simpsons really is. Stephen Hawking's donut. When legendary cosmologist Stephen Hawking guest starred in Season 10's They Saved Lisa's Brain, the writers humorously paired him with Springfield's resident fool, Homer Simpson. Over beers at Moe's Tavern, Hawking intriguingly tells Homer, "Your theory of a donut-shaped universe is intriguing. I may have to steal it." Although cosmologists have seriously considered the universe as torus-shaped, donut-like, since the 1980s, this playful Simpsons joke unexpectedly echoed real scientific theories, gaining renewed attention in recent years. Hawking's humorous nod to Homer's absurd theory now seems oddly prescient, as discussions about a donut-shaped universe surged again in the 2000s. This subtle moment underscores how The Simpsons manages to blend comedy with genuine scientific concepts, playfully predicting ideas before they resurface in real-world scientific debate. Paul McCartney, Lisa's vegetarian journey. In the classic 1995 Simpsons episode Lisa the Vegetarian, legendary musician Paul McCartney and his wife Linda made a memorable cameo that changed Springfield and real-life audiences forever. Instead of predicting the future, this moment created it. Paul gently inspired Lisa to embrace vegetarianism, marking a powerful turning point for her character and the show's cultural impact. Remarkably, McCartney had one special request: Lisa should remain vegetarian permanently, and the writers honored his wish. Decades later, this heartfelt episode remains influential, perfectly aligning with today's celebrity-driven shift toward plant-based lifestyles. McCartney's cameo didn't just influence a fictional girl from Springfield, it resonated with an entire generation, making vegetarianism mainstream, approachable, and cool. Reality, or just amazing coincidences? The Simpsons keeps us guessing, proving truth really can be stranger than fiction. Thanks for watching.